Hi, I'm Ulysses,
And I'm Henry.
and this is Comics Odyssey. Welcome once again. I am glad that you decided to join us on exploration of the classic works of Jack Cole, famously the creator of Plastic Man. Henry, what are your general feelings about Plastic Man?
Well, I never was a big fan, but I thought it was a cool idea, his specialty being stretching. And of course, like there were copycats after him, like the Elongated Man and then Mr. Fantastic and Marvel. His original Golden Age, now I read his origin, and that was like kind of like a straight up crime story. And I think it was like someone threw acid on him, and that's what made him elastic. Um, but then after that, apparently, and I think it might have been under Jack Cole, it became kind of a humor strip. There was a lot of humor worked into the plots. So I've read a few of his stories, but I'm not an expert by any means.
Yeah, and the origin, according to this credit here, is also written by Jack Cole, but he kind of cut loose almost straight away in his career on Plastic Man and started, getting pretty zany. I did a little bit of research on Jack Cole, some
Hmm.
basic information. Basically, he was kind of commissioned. He started young. He's not like classically trained or anything like that. I think if I remember correctly in my research, he learned cartooning in a mail order course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and uh, he says Jack Cole led a colorful life, including cycling across America at the age of 18 before moving to New York to follow his true passion of cartooning.
Oh,
And yeah,
when
so
was he
basic
born?
1930. So 18 at 1935, at 18 years of age, he moved to New York.
Okay.
So was that 25, uh, 1918, 17, 1917? Is that
Okay.
right?
Sounds good. No, I'm the wrong guy to ask about math.
Same. Yeah, so he was commissioned to do like something in the tradition of Will Eisner, the Spirit. And we
Well,
do
that makes
see,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, I noticed that, and it definitely explains the opening spread of each of these stories here. Find like a typical example, right? Like this kind of
Hmm.
lettering. There's a few excellent examples. There's one of them I saw, and I'm like, this is 100% Will Eisner's The Spirit opening page. Um, let's just take a look through. These opening shots are great. And but he had his own idea on like how to do like a crime fighting comic, and he came up with a Plastic Man, which he wanted to call India Rubber Man to begin with.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, and it's the stretching thing. But he was suggested to change him to Plastic Man because there had been kind of a buzz about this new uh, material that was coming out called plastic in
Wonder
that
material.
era.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, the advertisers would call it the miracle material. So,
How about that?
yeah. Um, so that's the explanation because plastic is not really stretchable like this, not really. So that explains why they call them Plastic Man instead, which I think works better than India Rubber Man.
Right. I don't think he'd have gone very far as India Rubber Man.
Yeah, and he differs from the crime fighters of the day, in that he is a criminal when he becomes
Right.
yeah, when he becomes Plastic Man, he's a criminal, like you mentioned. He almost gets caught as a criminal, and he just
Hmm.
takes off running and ends up, which I thought was interesting, in a monastery.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's wondering in this sequence here. He's like, "Where am I?" He says, "You are in Rest Haven." He's like, "In heaven? Are you kidding me? I'm a criminal, you know?" And so they don't turn him in, these monks. They basically refuse to kind of judge him and give him the
Hmm.
benefit of the doubt. And this kind of converts Mr. Eel O'Brien, the famous criminal thug Eel O'Brien, to turn his life around. He says, "I had completely lost faith in mankind until you've given me a new slant on things."
That's right. So, yeah, he was morally readjusted
Yeah,
by the example of those monks. Yeah.
yeah. By their giving him a chance, basically. Which is, you don't see that a lot in the origin stories of, like, kind of a religious origin story, right?
Very unusual. Yeah. The closest I can think of to that from the Golden Age was the original Red Hood story in Batman,
Oh,
where he had some like junior or aspiring detectives he was teaching a class to, and one of them was the son of a criminal, and he turned out being like the brightest one in the class.
so he discovers his stretchy powers, and he's kind of into it, right?
Wouldn't you be?
This it's kind of
You
a
never have
freak.
to nick yourself shaving again.
Yeah, you found the most useful aspect of stretchy powers,
Yeah.
uh, a shaving aid. And you'd never those hard to reach itches in your on your back.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You could easily scratch them.
Just twist around and get to them. Yeah.
So yeah, um, so he went on to write a lot of Plastic Man, and the more it went along, the zanier he got, and the more imaginative it got. And we're seeing number three here. He's featured,
Hmm.
like, not, sorry, not featured, but he's he's they show that he's in here, but by very soon, by issue 5, he's already the main character on the cover, right? And consistently, the covers feature him from issue 5 on. So he was a, like,
Okay.
smash hit straight from the start, is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that's roughly equivalent to because uh I don't think Batman or Superman. No, I'm sorry. I don't think Batman was the number one character right away either. Like after his first appearance, he was again in the back and he wasn't on the cover until like the next one or something.
This this is He's pretty much dominating the police comics here. See, like, at by like issue 18, or maybe even earlier, the other characters are just not even in there at all, on the
And so
covers, right?
all the stories in police comics became about Plastic Man.
Now, I don't know. At the beginning, it was an anthology. I don't know if he took over the whole book. So far, I've only, like, read up to issue 19 here, and they
Hmm.
all have roughly the same length. At one point, The character breaks the fourth wall. I believe the first crime fighting hero to do so. And he
He might have
does,
been. Yeah.
yeah, he addresses the audience and says, hey, what do you think if we added two more pages or four more pages to this feature? Yeah,
Huh.
here. No, oh, so here's well, a lot of issues. There's a little strip that they repeat here where Plastic Man actually addresses the reader and explains his origin.
Huh.
And what's another thing that's unique about the character is that he remains a criminal but fights crime. So he
He
maintains a
remains a criminal?
yeah, he maintains a dual identity as Eel O'Brien the criminal so that
Uh-huh.
he can uh stay in the underworld and get all the lowdown on the heists and stuff that are gonna happen so that he can
Okay.
yeah, so that's his secret identity is that of a criminal.
Similar to the Green Hornet.
Oh, there you go. Which would that be from the same era here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Green Hornet. Of
Okay.
course, he wasn't just comic books. He was on the radio, and then they did a movie serial about him too. But yeah, the Green Hornet is he wants to be known as a criminal, so he puts on that charade, uh, and but in reality, he's actually fighting crime.
Well, at one point, he gets hired by the police department to work with them, and then there's a recurring gag where the police chief keeps telling him he's going to get fired if you don't do this job. Don't get that job done. He's always getting the job done, and then finally the police chief says, "Yeah, but you bagged all these criminals, but you never bagged the notorious Eel O'Brien." So there's
He's
this
still at large.
yes. So there's this tension all the time where the stories become about how is he going to be able to trick the police chief so that he can continue his career, you know. By
Hey,
issue
on that page
13,
right there,
this one here.
no, the other side, that one. That's his sidekick there,
Yeah, so he
I
does.
believe.
Yeah, he acquires no, this guy here, no.
No, I
It
mean on the next page, on yeah, on the right hand page there,
yeah,
panel
so this is the
6.
issue where he uh acquires a sidekick called Woozy Winks.
Woozy Winks. Okay.
Yeah, so he's kind of a like a low life, you know, is what are they gonna ne'er do well or something like that, and
Uh,
he's out fishing, saves a man from drowning who ends up being a swami who rewards him with invulnerability. And he said, from now on,
oh,
nature will protect you. So anything that goes to harm Woozy Winks, you know, will get hit by lightning or a rain of boulders and so forth.
now is
And
that just for this episode, or does that continue his invulnerability? Does that
it con-
continue through other stories?
it continues, and the whole gimmick is that Woozy Winks chooses to use his powers to do crime, and Eel O'Brien, Plastic Man, has to stop him from committing crime. But how do you stop a man that you can't apprehend, right? Because he's constantly
Right.
getting protected. And here the way that Plastic Man does it is by asking him, think of your mother. What would she say if she knew about your crime career? And that makes Woozy Winks cry. And he begrudgingly decides to turn his life around.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm noticing a pattern here. The psychological rehabilitation.
Mm, mm. I'm really surprised at like how ahead of its time this looks. If you look at the Plastic Man Police comics in context, so what was going on at the day was Firebrand was the uh, like kind of like the big star of police comics. And if you
Okay.
look at the Firebrand comics, um, like Plastic Man, Jack Cole's work is miles ahead. Like it's just they're amusing and entertaining, and the artwork is way better.
Having read plenty of Golden Age comics, I heartily agree with you. He's definitely um, above average, and yeah, way ahead of his contemporaries, and
It
the style and the excellence of his art.
and just the creative decisions are just they're reminiscent of more something that's like from the I don't know, it feels like it's more from the 50s or something like that. It really feels quite advanced. Um, so one thing
You
I
talking about the
noticed,
aesthetics?
yeah, the aesthetics and the creative decisions, like just the fact that he wears wraparound sunglasses,
Right, yeah, instead of a mask.
to me, that's, I don't know, there's something kind of modern, almost like that looks like it's from now.
Kinda, yeah. Except for the way the
It's
criminals dress.
exactly. So but the fact that he's Plastic Man, maybe that's the idea. They're trying to make him look futuristic, right? Like um,
Could very well
futuristic
be, yeah.
miracle material. But most of the strips are the pages are split in thirds. So you got the top. So
Hmm.
it's pretty much exactly, and it just follows like the whole thing constantly follows that formula, split in thirds. But then the top, middle, and bottom are split up a little bit differently. But then by
Yeah, that's
issue,
really,
yeah, here we're getting at issue 20. He's really starting to play around here, right?
I was gonna say that's very unorthodox for the time,
Hmm.
from what I know.
It has a Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera, maybe not Hanna-Barbera, but what's the other one? The Looney Tunes, and what's the other one?
Well, there was Disney, Looney Tunes, Fleischer Studios. Uh, Fleischer did Popeye and Betty Boop and stuff.
Reminds
And
me kind of like
um,
Elmer Fudd type of thing.
well, MGM was where Tom and Jerry started out, so that might be what you're thinking of
Okay.
before they went to Hanna-Barbera or whoever it was.
Like this feels like it has like sound effects, like that whistle when they're slipping on the ground or something.
Yeah, like that page right there. This is something I noticed when you passed it before. More than, let's see, six, seven, eight panels on that page, and it's very dialogue heavy, and yet he's still able to put enough of the visuals in there
Yeah.
to tell the story. So I don't feel so bad now.
Well, the
I'm
golden
pretty
age,
dialogue heavy in
yeah,
places.
yeah, I noticed that, and when you said that you have like a special affection for golden age era comics, it kind of clicked. I'm like, okay, it's probably that's his influence, and the golden age era comics in up to into the silver age are more dialogue heavy, and we start to get more dialogue economic in the bronze age.
Right. Yeah.
But if you see in the later issues, there's less dialogue, but the lettering's a bit bigger, and
Hmm.
the in panel compositions are less cramped, and the lines are a little bit lighter. Now, I don't know if that's could be a reproduction thing. Maybe they had the original art here and they didn't here, something like that.
Could be something technologically was improving during that time.
Yeah.
I know they were
Here,
still using plates, but I don't know what else was involved in the process back then.
even here, like in the early strips, you wouldn't have seen that kind of panel, right?
Probably not. Yeah.
It's more, there's a lot, there's just a lot more stuff going on in each panel. It's just more information within the
It's
panel.
dense, like you said.
Yeah. Whereas here, he opens up a bit. There's more, it breathes more, less backgrounds. But these covers and these splash pages are just striking, just gorgeous.
Really, the only one I can think of who's drawing better than him in comics at the time is Will Eisner.
There you
His
go.
stuff was really advanced, ahead of the curve.
Yep. And just the imaginative, it's so imaginative, right?
Now that defines Plastic Man. He was really thinking out of the box, outside the box.
Yeah. Reading these is, I mean, I like that they're not a lot of pages, so you can get through one pretty quick.
Hmm.
Um, I don't find it's a good read night after night because it starts to feel repetitive because the what you call the panel layouts are all very similar,
Hmm.
and the tone, you know what I mean? It's like it's too much of the same zany, wacky. It starts to get a little exhausting
Okay. And that bothers you as a reader,
for me. Yeah.
accumulatively. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's coming up once a month, oh, it's like okay, this month's dose of zany wackiness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
I,
It's just a great image.
as an aside, um, Mad Magazine used to publish these paperbacks. And in some of them, they did reprints from the old days before it was Mad Magazine, when it was Mad, the comic book. And there's one, I can't remember which one it is, but they had a few different spoofs in there. And one of them was Kane Keene. And I think it might have been based on Katie Keene. Not sure. I never read Katie Keene, but I've heard of that. And it's absolutely hilarious. And another one in that same book is Plastic Sam, which of course is the lampoon or the satire of Plastic Man. And it is, I highly recommend it. It's well worth the read.
Just a lot of motion, a lot of like these exaggerated expressions. It's just great cartooning.
Yeah, and you got, I mean, it's not what Bob Kane would call illustrative. It's not a very realistic character, even Plastic Man himself. But when you get to Woozy Winks, I mean, it's flat out cartoon.
Yeah,
Woozy Winks belongs in I don't know, a funny animal kind of comic.
yeah. And he leans into that more and more as time passes. Like, look at these pigs.
Right? Yeah.
Right? This is just it's just gag comics, a bunch of gags. It's brilliant. Another thing I wanted to note, um, like here, I thought this was a little piece of kayfabe here. Um, is bragging about how the sales of Plastic Man are going up and his
Uh-huh.
popularity is going up. It's like, just wanted to thank you for all the swell letters you've been sending. Right? And then the gimmick that hooks you in is not the story. He says, I want to take up some important business with you. But gets interrupted by a phone call and he's got to go deal with a murder. And he says, well, I'll talk to you about this business later. So it's a very meta kind of a hook.
Again, that's
And
something you'd expect to see in a humor comic.
yes, and it's something you'd expect we thought like Grant Morrison was brilliant for doing that, but it's Jack Cole was doing it in 1945, right?
Yeah.
He's getting back to business. How would you folks like to have this feature increase to 9 pages instead of 6?
Oh, okay, that's the one you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some sales, some marketing in there too, right?
Right.
He's trying to get his editor to on board, maybe, or it's a bit of a thing um, to get everyone to send more letters and request him. He's hyping himself up, right?
Yeah. I mean, they had limited marketing options back then. But that's, I guess, they knew he was popular by the sales numbers and by the letters coming in. And so this is how they chose to address that. They didn't just increase his story size, they announced it within the
Mhm.
pages of a story.
That's right. There was another note I wanted to make on this DC Finest reprint. I've got quite a few of those. I think it's been interesting to dig back into the history. Um, Here they have a note. The comics reprinted in this volume were produced at a time when racism played a larger role in society and popular culture, both consciously and unconsciously. They are presented here without alteration for historical reference. I'm on board with that. I thought that was good.
Uh-huh.
History is history. Whatever it is, that's what we want. We don't want like some, airbrushed version of history. And then, but then he goes, some covers have been altered from their original versions due to
Oh,
copyright reasons or to remove material that may be deemed offensive to modern audiences. So, which is it?
I know, right? Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Have you
So
run into it in this? Like, have you run into any Chinese caricatures or
there's a Chinese
anybody like
thing.
Ebony White?
Um, there's a Chinese thing that is, it's pretty racist. And
Okay.
there's also like a Indian thing. They don't do the caricatures of the Indians, but like in all the Indians are witch doctors or whatever. Like it's a little,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
Medicine men
yeah. It's
with a
stereo,
feather in their
yeah,
beads.
stereotypical,
Yeah.
um, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
On that first page, that first interior page you've gone to a couple times, I got a comment and a question actually,
This one?
since I'm with the no the one flip back. Uh, that one right there. So see on the left-hand side how they
Yeah.
have like the cast of characters that you'll find in this issue. Yeah, those right there. That was kind of typical back then. They'd do it somewhere on the cover where they'd have just a headshot of that person or that character, and letting you know in like with a caption under it saying who they were. These people are inside this issue. I thought about like depending on how far my series goes and how successful it is, like in a future issue, like doing something similar in a retro golden age type style cover.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think? Would that scare you away? Would you think this is I don't know, what kind of amateur thought of doing this crap? Or would it be something that you would recognize as a homage to the golden age?
Well, it would be recognized by fans of the Golden Age,
Yeah.
which is probably That's my guess would be that it's beneficial that people recognize the thing that it's influenced by because that will likely be something they like,
Hmm.
right? Because you want if you want to attract fans of the Golden Age, then you do Golden Age stuff.
Yeah.
So you go ahead
In my
and
comment, I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so you would mimic, look at a whole bunch, mimic the typefaces and the colors and yeah.
And my comment is two of those characters that you see right there on the cover, Firebrand and the Human Bomb. Those were revived later in the 70s or 80s, I think, because I ran across an issue where they were brought back and made characters in some story. It might have been a Captain Marvel story, which by that time DC had acquired the character and they just called his comic Shazam. It might have been then, I'm not sure, but I do remember at some point in fairly recent times they revived those two characters. I doubt if they were very popular. They might have just been a one-off, but I did see them.
Well, of all of those, other than Plastic Man, the one that interests me the most is Human Bomb because that's just a cool name.
Ain't it though? Yeah.
It makes me
So what
interested
his
in,
shtick was, I think, is like he could focus explosive power into, whatever area he wanted to.
yeah, and his punches had like bomb power kind of thing.
Hmm. Oh,
But
so you're familiar with them.
well, I read the Human Bomb. I found one online, and the gimmick is that he swallowed his dad's. He was working on an explosive chemical or something that was like the most explosive thing ever. And then the Allies came around to steal the formula,
Uh-huh.
and his dad wouldn't comply, so they killed him in front of him. So he, rather than let the Allies get hold of the formula, he drinks it. He drinks the
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, and then he beats the guys, and he discovers that he has basically bomb powers.
So you don't want to be within a square mile of him if he has beans and chili for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Plastic Man. I was impressed. I got this because I was interested. I didn't know what I was getting into really, and I'm glad that I took a chance. Very amusing and quite quite impressed at the draftsmanship and the creativity here.
Well, I have to agree with you. Um, yeah, way ahead of his time.
Yeah, it's just beautifully composed. That whole thing is just great.
Yeah, him in a question mark. Well, I like the one on the other page too, with the his name, Plastic Man, or like the supports for this railroad bridge.
I'm gonna do that at some point.
Okay.
Something like that. I'm gonna do Spirit Girl in some sort of.
Well, yeah, that's a fantastic way. That's a fantastic splash page.
It's gorgeous. And the smoke turns into some kind of ghost monster or something.
Creature, yeah.
The train's haunted. The
This guy just
skeleton.
let his imagination run wild.
Yeah, he just didn't hold back. Just whatever it is that he was thinking of, he just put it on there. Oh, here's one. We found one.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
That's not a good look.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Plastic Man. Thanks everyone for joining us. I forgot to say it earlier. I always forget to say it at the top of the show. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're close to 1,000 subscribers on both YouTube and Substack. So let's
Sweet.
yeah, let's get that train rolling. We're a small channel. We're doing our best here. We need your help, so we appreciate it. We do have Also, if you check the links below this video, a Discord channel where there's people that they're discussing stuff in the episodes and comics in general. And if you subscribe to Substack for free and you like the content, we do publish additional content on there for paid subscribers, which is there's going to be a discount link below for ends up being $250 a month, which I think is a great deal. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next one.